Hi, this is Stephen O'Grady with Redmonk. I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about package management. And the impetus of this particular conversation comes from a couple of dialogues that I've seen occurring in the blogging world where folks are discussing application management, application installation, removal of Linux-related packages. And one of the things that I've observed is that a lot of people, I think, seem to have misconceptions about the difficulty of installing and removing applications within the context of Linux as it exists on the desktop. So what I'd like to do is take a little bit of time and run through just a very basic set of circumstances, and we can get into some of the difficulties and the challenges in just a little bit. But for right now, what I'd like to do, as I said, is basically walk you through how to install applications on Ubuntu. So first we go to, there's an Applications tab, and we will go ahead and click on the Applications tab and scroll down to Add Remove, and we'll bring up a window that says Add Remove Applications. And for the sake of argument, let's say that we wanted to install Firefox. It's obviously a popular application. So we'll type Firefox into our window, and we'll actually see that Ubuntu has already actually made that choice for us, and we'll see that the application itself is installed. But we actually can see that GreaseMonkey, which is an extension for Firefox, well, we're actually fans of that, so let's go ahead and click that to install it. Let's also check for another favorite application of a lot of people, AdBlock, and lo and behold, we have that as well. So let's check that while we're here. And next, let's go and let's just say, for the sake of argument, that we want a different browser, to choose, from something besides Firefox, because after all of us might not want to run Firefox. So we'll click Browser, and obviously browser is a fairly common descriptive term, so there's quite a stable of applications available under the browser term. But if we look around, we can see a variety of things. Let's scroll up a little bit to the top, and what we'll see when we get there is, we have Firefox. And actually, there's another browser called Epiphany, which is based on some of the same technologies. Let's click Epiphany, and let's just install that for the sake of argument. Next, let's see if we can get a spreadsheet. So we type spreadsheet, and we see that, again, Ubuntu has already made the choice of OpenOffice for us. But let's install an alternative spreadsheet in Numeric. We'll select that. And let's see what else we want. Might want, let's say, instant messaging, just for the sake of argument. So we will instant messaging, and again, we have a variety of clients to pick from. So we can scroll down, and they are rated by popularity. Pidgin, which is a popular one, is already installed for us. It's a multi-protocol client. But since we know the folks from Jabber, let's click Jabber, and let's install that. And with that, let's go ahead and let's apply these changes. So in other words, let's install these applications. So apply the following changes. We'll scroll and see the different applications that we're going to install, and there they are. So let's click Apply. And because Linux is secure, we have to give it our password. So we'll do that. And what's occurring in the background here, when it says downloading package files, one of the advantages of package management systems, such as those that exist on the Linux operating system, is that you don't have to go to websites, you don't have to register anywhere, you don't effectively have to do anything, you don't have to leave the context of your desktop to install applications. And those include applications, obviously, that come with the distribution, Ubuntu in this case, but also other packages. So we've seen Firefox, and we've seen Epiphany, we've seen Jabber, we've seen Numeric, we've seen a variety of different things scrolling around on the Add Remove applications application itself, which is included in the Ubuntu desktop. So what's occurring here is that Ubuntu is going to go out to its repositories with which it has access to, and it's going to download the package files, and it's going to pull them down and essentially install and configure them and get them up and running for us. And again, this is for Linux folks, this is fairly trivial. For those of you who are used to Windows or OS X, this may be a little different. This may be something you perhaps haven't seen before. And getting back to what we had sort of talked about at the outset, this is not to make the contention that installing applications on Linux is always easy. because frankly there are a lot of applications that are not within the repositories of Ubuntu or the other popular desktops, but are instead contained, are essentially themselves outside and apart from the application that we're talking about. But and frankly, the application installation process for those applications that are not contained within the application management system is certainly challenging to new users. There's no question about it. If I told my parents, for example, that they had to download a tarball, untar it, and do a doc configure, a make install, candidly, that's a non-starter. My parents are smart people, but they're not going to go through that. So what Linux fortunately has done is that they have built a package management system. In this case, it's apt. Most Linux distributions include equivalents. So over on Fedora, it might be Yum. On Gentoo, it might be Portage, and so on. And what they do is that they give access to really thousands of applications in many cases, and not only applications, but the application dependencies themselves. Because in the case of Firefox, Firefox might be a standalone application, but there are other applications that depend on a variety of other applications to be in place to work properly. And the systems are designed to handle that fairly transparently. So anyhow, returning to our add remove application scenario here, what we're seeing is that the applications have been installed, and here are the newly installed applications, and we can actually start them if we choose to, but I don't really want to run any of those right now, so we'll click close. And just to see that they've been installed, we're going to go up to applications, and we will go in and look at internet, and sure enough, there's the Epiphany web browser, which has been installed for us. There's the Jabber Instant Messaging client, and there's the GNU numeric spreadsheet. So what you can see is that these have, and there's, we brought up the spreadsheet just to prove that it did in fact get installed. So what you can see is that Ubuntu has installed these really relatively seamlessly. And just to determine how easy it is to remove the applications once they're installed, let's type Epiphany. I don't really want that anymore. So let's go ahead and uncheck that and click Apply Changes. Yeah, we'd like to remove that, and we click Apply. And what we're going to see is it's removing software, and it's preparing for the removal of the Epiphany browser, etc., etc. And it's going to go through and ultimately it's going to remove it. And there we are. And that's application installation or removal.